We value this wool because the quality is very fine. It has been hand-carded to remove twigs, burrs, leaves, and tangles. The women there use the centuries-old drop spindle method to spin the wool, which comes from churro sheep, originally introduced by the Spanish 500 years ago. When we purchase the yarn from them, it also helps to keep the mostly elderly women in business. When the balls of yarn are brought back down to the weaving village, they are spun into skeins on a traditional spinning wheel. Then the wool is ready to be dyed. Dye making is a subtle and refined art form, and for our very fine line of the spirit rugs, Altagracia is a consummate artist. The dyeing process takes place over many days. First, water is boiled over an open fire. It requires special skills to maintain the proper temperature. Then the pigments are added, and Altagracia works her magic. Her mixing of pigments produces a beautiful palette of colors, and watching her work is always a joy. Mordants are added to set the colors, and the wool cooks for a prescribed amount of time to ensure maximum penetration. Then it's cooled, and the heavy, wet wool is carried down to the river. There it is washed and rinsed several times with the physically demanding steps of beating it against the rocks and wringing it dry. I love looking at the display of colors when the skeins are hung out in the sun. We sometimes get ideas about new color combinations for rugs. Finally, there's the actual weaving on the looms. Each house generally has several looms, so that different pieces can be made at the same time by family members. Some families now use extra large looms to accommodate the ever-increasing demand for large, room-size rugs. Each weaving is done by only one person, and the larger pieces can take up to half a year of someone's life. Many of the designs used today have been introduced to the village, but a good number date back to the geometric forms found at the nearby archaeological site of Mitla. It's especially exciting to go there because the juxtaposition of different designs makes it look like a gallery display. Incorporating these elements provides very important historical and cultural continuity for the weavers as well.
Here, this is the flower here. Right here. Here. Also, this represents a human body. So that's what we see, and that's what we represent on the rugs.
The economy of the village itself depends almost exclusively on the production of these fine natural wool weavings. Today, there are many wonderful women weavers we work with, and children learn to weave after school or as a hobby. They watch their parents and grandparents and learn quickly, and families that weave together remain close and intact. This, too, is essential for maintaining the traditional culture, which goes back at least 5,000 years.